And we're live with another one on a Moon Day, Memorial Moon Day is what it is. Memorial. That sounds totally on point to what I'm about to talk about. What's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, messenger of God, evangelist, North American Sybil, messenger of God, child of God, the Lilith, reincarnated, here with another one. In order to keep up with me, you had to catch my community page and the videos I posted prior to this. All live videos. I don't upload videos. There's no editing. Erase that. I wish I could. It's funny, as I was saying that intro, you know, I shared this video from like 7 months ago when I first met Wolfman, and I was going to explore these feelings. Look where they led me. To disappointment. At least I'm not heartbroken. Disappointing. They always do. But that's the Sagittarius way, you know what I mean? Curiosity killed the cat. Satisfaction brought it back. But I had not said in there, I didn't say guru or yogi yet. I didn't get that statue until we entered the Buddhahood, the Brotherhood of Buddha, and that would have been in January. And then as far as the evangelist, that came later, and the Sybil, that came later too. I have to earn my stripes. So, I did a whole video earlier about the Christ consciousness and coming to Christ and all that great stuff. I had said that I was going to do the end of my tarot read, which is, or the intro to tarot, it's not the end, it's never the end. The intro to tarot part 10, where we were going to finish up your swords, the highest level of your thoughts. We had to wait until we got to that level of teaching. I've been teaching you all about your thoughts and shit. So we were going to finish that up, and then Wolfman, I noticed, posted this. He's just irritating my flesh right now. He's trying to get a rise out of the Phoenix, and I will just blow you out my nostrils. Breathe. That's what that means. Anyways, he tries to, you know, keep up, but he can't compare where he can't, you know, he can't compete where he doesn't compare. So he was trying to, you know, push this whole thing. And I was like, you're so irritating. So I encourage you guys, the point of that is, you know, to watch out for people that are just trying to fucking show off all the time. I started a video last night about that. The whole video yesterday was about his show-off behaviors. He's stepping into this, and I always say it, you're stepping into a Russ. I compare them all to Russ. Why? Because nothing compares to Russ. Then I started laughing. I was having a conversation with Russ before I came up here, and I was like, all right, motherfucker, here we go again. How did I get in your energy? It's like, I'm not in the negative. That means you're in the positive. Why am I talking to you right now? Oh, you must be in your heart space. Well, let's dig the knife in there, motherfucker. I was thinking about this thing I shared. I'll go find it later. I'll reshare it. It's a short. It's talking about the awakening process, and it's like, oh, but at least I'll have a soulmate. And then it's like when you realize your soulmate is only here to trigger your abandonment wounds. Your rejection wounds. That's what I do. That's what we all do. Me and my 12, oh, fuck off, bro. That's all we do around here is reject each other. We're just like fucking super class rejects, bro. In the essence, like, I reject you, you reject me. I've been rejecting this since the beginning. And that's where I was like, oh, fuck, here we are. Oh, God, Russ. I'm supposed to take this teaching, bro. I'm supposed to take all these teachings and all these lessons from all these guys and come back and deal with your bitch ass again. Oh, God, help me, Jesus. I am the divine masculine that's been running from this bitch since the beginning. My biggest fear is having to be in a relationship with Russ. I am ready to do exorcisms and any other kind of work I cannot do that. It's so funny. How long? 3 years, bro. He's coming to my doorstep. He's literally being delivered to my doorstep. And I'm still trying to find a way out of this. They got me a dress and everything. I'm not going. It's so bad. Oh, man. Yeah. Fuck off. Fuck. God damn it, Spanky. It's like, so, like, oh, God. I just have to do it. It's not really that hard. I just can't stand the very idea of it. I'm like, oh, come on. It's funny because, like, people watch the videos and they're like, you love Russ the most. I'm like, fuck, I hate Russ the most. It's always Russ. All the time. Like, am I ever going to get away with it? So I catch myself having a conversation with him. I'm like, oh my God, Becky, why are we talking to Russ again? What the fuck is happening? Are you telling me that after all this work, I'm right back facing your bitch ass? No. Oh my God, no. It's so painful to look at in the bigger picture that all I can do is laugh. I went around the world twice, only to have to come back and face you. Oh, God, Russ. Fuck. I feel like I'm going to throw up. What is it? Oh, man. It's part of the twin flame journey, bro. I gotta face them all, bro. I gotta reclaim my power and all this good stuff. I don't know if you realize that. That's really what happens when I face these guys. I take all their power, but mainly my own. I proved that they really didn't have any to begin with. Which I've shown you already with all of these guys. They ain't got no power. They ain't got no power. I'm trying to get to restore their power and their divinity back through God is what the whole fucking mission impossible has been. You know, like trying to get Kanye back. I'm going to do an exorcism on Britney Spears. You know, people like Russ. These impossible feats that I totally signed up for. Oh, fucking Russ. I'm just like, get on my face, Beavis. What is it? New levels of compassion and understanding and forgiveness, bro. That's all it is, bro. And at some point, you know, the pride has to die. In the sense of, you know, when can I be Jesus like with Russ? Oh, man. Jesus defeated Lucifer in the Bible. But it wasn't, Jesus didn't have no honor. Jesus doesn't fight. Jesus is a lover, not a fighter. The only way he could have defeated him was through love. And I don't think it would have been a defeat because Jesus doesn't fight. People just surrender to his love. Russ is one of those people that I don't want to give my love to. I feel like he's undeserving of it. I've said that since the beginning. I have unleashed all kinds of rejection upon that man. all kinds of abandonment wounds. I'll come and love him and then disappear and forget about him for months and months at a time. Like I do all of them. Like they do me. It's a really great thing that we do around here. Triggering the shit out of each other by these things. All of my twin flames have taught me how to be, you know, what through them, and that's what a true twin flame journey is about, is your love for them pushes you to heal yourself, right? And it's like the thorn in my flesh where he pushes me to my absolute limits, and every time I think this is the end of where I'll go with you, it's like, no, there's more. And that's Christ. 100,000% is where there's more love that can be given. More forgiveness, more understanding, more compassion. You can look at my story with Russ or my story with a lot of these people, but especially Russ, and be like, dude, he is just so unforgivable. He played the bad guy in this story. But through his behaviors, which were no more than triggers, bro, I triggered the shit out of him and he triggered it out of me. The only thing that happened was I caught the healing. He just caught the ass end of this. Because, I guess, I don't know. Ignorance? I'm not sure. He knows what it is. But all of you do. And why can't you give up like me? I'm not sure, bro. I'm not sure. But I do know that there's been many people in history that give up their lives for God. In essence, I never said I was God, but that I was the messenger of God, and God had a calling on our lives. And I showed for years that, you know, what the calling is and how we got to do it and blah, blah, blah. And I just kept doing what I was supposed to be doing. And so what it was supposed to do was, you know, trigger my healing and reflect it back to them. And it would work. You know, he would trigger me and I would trigger him and we would just be trigger happy. It's like almost all that story is about my relationship with Russ. Right? And through him and his behaviors, I could recognize my own or the behaviors of other people and use them as collective healing for myself and for others. And I would reflect back these lessons that I learned through him into my page, and people would catch these lessons. Marshall healed, but because of my relationship with others, not my relationship with him. But then, you know, when it got to him, that's where he, you know, that's where things get real complicated. And that's just it, is like, you know, Royce on the outside is healing from just watching the healing reflect back and forth. He takes it all in and he sits down and he applies it to, what does this have to do with my life? And what's intriguing is, though, even though we're individual persons, our feelings are identical to, we can place them on any part of life, and that's where I can come in with these crazy testimonies and whatnot. There would be no me without him. Right? Nobody gets under my skin like him. But underneath that skin, you know what I mean, he draws out all the things of this world that I need to face. Now, what you don't get is that's what I do to, as he's doing that to me, I'm doing that to everyone else. Unfortunately, I'm the only one facing them. You guys just change the channel and go back to work. And that's where it gets all kind of loopy. In essence, you know what I mean? There shouldn't be any reason why I shouldn't face this man, and we shouldn't be, you know what I mean? I shouldn't be grateful for this whole journey, which I am. It's like, dude, we've come a long ass ways. In the essence, like, so much forgiveness, so much understanding, so much compassion, so much love for myself and for him to get here. So much of it, dude. All through, not all through him, but I'm telling you, like 80 to 90% of it was through him. Now, is he my blueprint? No. You can look at my blueprint, my counterpart, and that would be Marshall, where he's my energy in another man, or in another being, as the masculine form of my energy. But you can see that he doesn't, what happened is, they can't hold all of me. There's no way, in essence. So the parts of me that Marshall doesn't own are over in Allie and in Lewis. And in, you know what I mean? They're hidden parts in Royce and in Logic. Logic's ability to be silly is hidden within all of us, but only he can harness that power and not have shame about drooling or running around in his underwear or being, you know, scruffaluffagus. He's fine just being the child that he is. You know, and that's where it is all of us own, you know, little by little I've reclaimed all of my, you know, aspects, but they all have an aspect of the Lilith. And when they learn to harness the whole aspects of the Lilith, which is nothing more than their shadow aspects, it's nothing more than their shadowed feelings. When they harness that, then they'll be back in their own true essence, where whatever that may be for them. But right now, no, they're just being Liliths because they're working through it. All different aspects of, you know, their dark feelings, the dark feminine. And wonder why I call them bitches all the time. They're all being bitches. Which bitches? Me? All the bitches I ever been? Right? And I'm like, this bitch. This bitch. Here we go again. In the essence, I made a promise to never give up on him. And to get him to, you know, to wake up. To walk him through it. And it goes back to someone like, you know, you now know some of his story, but he's sharing it in pieces. And they're sharing their stories in pieces, and they can't do this by themselves. And that's why I'm here. I talked about earlier how Kobe's daughter had to leave with him because she wouldn't have been able to have a fulfilling life without him. It doesn't mean that she needs him in every life, but this life was centered around him. She wouldn't have been centered without him. Right? So that's how that situation had kind of, you know, broke down. In the sense of, he can't walk away by himself. Why? None of them can. Why? Because they don't know God yet. They need someone to walk with them through the valleys of the shadows of death to get them back. They need a light bearer. And that's what I am for them. That's what I am for everybody, but especially them. That's why they're all here. We're all going to ascend at the same time. It's not really the same time. We don't all die, you know, at once. We're not all going to die from that joke. It's not how, we're not all going to think this is a killer joke. It might kill you when you see me die. You'll be like, oh my God, she's gone. Just kidding. But in the essence, it was a promise. I'll make sure you get through the light this life. I'll make sure. So even though as far as I go ahead of him, I got to go back and grab him. Are you with us? Are you keeping up, or are you just pretending back there? What are you doing back there? They're lost, guys. They're lost boys. They're trying. But as I show you, it's so hard to fight the mind, bro. It's Morpheus, bro. They're linked up to this fucking, you know, they're juicing them, bro, and they can't think straight, and they've denied their heart for so fucking long. They don't even know what the noise of it is. They don't know the voice of their heart. They don't know the voice of God. And that's when, you know, when they get back to that voice, they'll know who they are again. I'm just here to help them get back to that, you know, there. To guide them through this shit. There's not a trained professional that can guide you through the dark night of the soul. And that's what you're going through. And you're just the first wave, and that's why you're so important. God's holding back everybody else's awakening until you guys wake up and you can teach them, because they're going to need to hear it from the, you know, mighty men. It's men that rule the world. But when you have the right understanding, you'll set the balance with us women. You'll figure this, you'll fix this. You'll do God's great works right along with me. And we'll fix this for mankind. But first, you know what I mean? It all starts with you fixing your own self. That's what I told him. I was like, what did I tell you, dickhead? He's asking, oh, here he is at tour again. That's what made me laugh. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm not telling him this again. I've told him this for 3 years. It's like, God is asking you to give up the same shit as he asked you last time. Give up the tour, give up the girl, give up the fame. It will all be there. Hold on a second. Hold on.
He's screaming in my ear.
I got it. Close the door. No, you're going to sit here. You're not going to do that.
I'm in a room.
No, but you're not going to scream at people, bro, because you can't control yourself. No, I heard you through the door. So now we'll see if you're not screaming. I heard you through the door. Don't lie to my face.
Look at me.
Christian, you want to lie to me one more time? I'm going to take your phone. Anyways. What was I talking about? So you fucked up the whole story. I told him, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, if you fail, it'll all be there when you go back. That bitch will be waiting for you. You'll still be famous. Everything will still be there. Your manager, everybody will still be on the edge of their seat, hoping you fail and you come back to tell them how to live their lives and make money off of you. I didn't say all that, but I pretty much said that. I was like, he asked you to give up all these things. If you fail, then you can go back to these things. Why does your winning have to look like failure, bro? Is what I said. None of them know what God wants from them. And they're not going to know that until they start cleaning out all this shit. And they don't want to walk in the unknown. They want to plan. They want to know what they're getting into. It's the unknown, motherfucker. It's the unknown, and I showed you that it's safe not to know. That's what I tried to show you, is you don't have to know everything. So I was going to teach you, we're going to end up the cards. We're going to go back into your knowing, your mind, and how it works. And those are the last four, they're the last four of the major minor arcanas, which is the Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords. These are the highest levels of your thoughts. We're going to get into that. But you need to understand that even at the highest level, and I explained that yesterday, I believe it was, as the High Priestess. It's a need-to-know basis, and the less I know, the better. Because I have to act on that knowing. I have to do something with the shit that I do know. I can't just keep all this knowing to myself. It's wasteful to keep everything to yourself. So we look at this, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to do those cards. But then I was like, let's do a spiritual growth and see where we're at, because we're in the middle of some shit. I do have those cards ready to finish up that teaching. But it's about, you got to understand, at one point, you got to, and that's where I am, is you let the mind, you reassure the mind of the unknown, because that's what you're stepping in. When I stepped into this, in the beginning, I didn't even have that pagan priesthood book. I just got crazy shit, a bunch of crazy shit, some cards. It's all there. Every piece I bought, every video I was, every ascension I was guided into new materials. I didn't know until I got that book that they were training me to become the priestess. As I started reading the book, I thought this was going to take years and this and that. But before I had opened it, I was already executing the priesthood work. I didn't know exactly. I saw God had this plan that I was going to make a huge impact on the world. I was going to build communities. I was going to be able to change the world. I didn't fully see how that was going to happen. And I just started developing this. This is what I started doing. And what I was doing was developing what I was going to become. In the destruction is actually they're actually renovating at the same time you're destroying. You're on one side of your life destroying it, and they're on a completely other side of your life building it up for you. It's kind of, as I was sitting here destroying my life, at the same exact time I was destroying it, I was building up my legacy, my future. You know what I mean? By this. Being the test, being God's messenger. And all I was doing was relaying to people the messages he was giving to me, not knowing that they were actually messages for everybody. and that I was, in fact, a messenger of God. That these messages weren't just to help me, but to help the world. So, I use that story to inspire you at the bottom of the card. Oh, this is very interesting. I'm going to pull these. But I use that to inspire you because you don't know what you're becoming. And the real thing is you're already becoming it without even knowing. You're getting stronger at it and stronger. Every time you're sucking at it, you're getting better at it. You know what I mean? Going back to my really terrible dating record here. It's like I've gone through so much to be, you know, ready. And here I come to like, well, can you execute that with Russ? Oh my God. Why not? Russ doesn't deserve love. And that's where it's like all this Christ-like and I can't give love to Russ. And that's the real test. Is like, you know what I mean? He was never my enemy. It's just a pride thing. Every time I give him my love, you know what I mean? And that's where it becomes conditional. I'm not going to give this to you unless you act right. No, I've come to the understanding that every time I love you, you're going to act up. You always act a fool every time I come and love on you. Why? Because nobody ever has. And you don't know how to act. And as funny, as awful as it is to say about, you know, Russ, if you look at my whole story, you would say the same thing about me. If you would have tried to give me love, I wouldn't have known how to act. I would have acted, and that's what I was learning how to do, was how to act about love. As I was trying to love, I was acting out all my pain. And that's where it all started, you know. Outside of Bobby, Russ was the first one. I was forced to extend myself to Tree, but I wasn't attracted to Tree, and I didn't really like him like that. But I liked Russ. I really did. I have videos to prove it. And I tried to get close to him, and unfortunately my idea of closeness was in physical intimacy that came with, you know, it was very verbal, and he tried to use those words, and they ended up hurting me. And that's where the game began. He didn't mean to hurt me with his words, but when he did, I rejected him. And that ripped out his pain. His words ripped out my pain, and what I did next ripped out his. And all we've done is bled all over the world, all over the internet since then. But I've healed. I think. Until I saw this card. Oh, it's at the bottom. What's our current energy? The devil. What's under the devil? The sun. Oh, God. What's under that? The tower. Oh, did you shuffle these? Yeah, bitch. I was doing the whole Cupid shuffle, bitch. This is what we get. What are we going to do? Run to the devil because we don't like what God gave us? Yeah, it sounds like something you guys would do. I just want to point out, Bobby said, you remind me of, I feel like you're the devil trying to convince me that the grass is greener in hell. Bro, it's one hell of a fucking day in the neighborhood. Holy shit, right? I shuffled them a lot. They weren't in order. I've been using them. I'm just like, well, what'd I turn to? The Chariot. All right, balance yourself. Oh, the Lovers. No, we're going the other way. We're going into hell. All right, our current energy. This is crazy, bro. You saw me pull our 3 cards. This is crazy. The underworld is a card of self-created bondage to an idea, a belief, ambition, a demanding career, love of money, desire, a person or group of people that stops you moving forward. Poor Russ. He became what he wanted to become, just like Marshall, just like Lewis. They became what they thought was the right thing to become. But you could become something else. Logic tried to retire, and then he came back. Why'd you come back? You can be, okay, first off, you've gotten to a place of financial stability that you don't need to be rich. You're already rich. So you don't need to look for rich. You're already famous. You don't need to look for famous. You already have accomplished certain parts of your life. You don't need to start fully over. And that's what it is. Nobody's going to take away your fame, and hopefully not your fucking money like that. But in essence, you're still lacking in a lot of areas of life. If this isn't, you know what I mean? If doing this job, guys, and that's what I mean to all of you, Lewis, you're beyond rich, beyond famous. You don't need Formula One to move on with your life. You need to leave Formula One to move on with your life. Same thing with all of you guys, all of my rappers. You're never gonna stop rapping. You need to learn how to channel that into something else. To use that creativity that you have and put it somewhere else for good use. And not because you need fame or fortune, because you're already famous and have fortune. Where do you put this? Where do you put your life's work? You put it into the next generation so that it doesn't die, that it lives on in them. You teach them how to be great like you, what you learned. They become, and you know what I mean? They become your life's work. It doesn't just end in, that's Kobe. It didn't end on that fucking court. He lives within his life's work. What he learned out of this life lives within people like me and others. And not just what he learned on the court. And that's Pac. Dude, craziest. True story, bro. Finally finished up my laundry. I turned off my headphones. I turned on the fucking radio. It was Pac. I see no changes. We gotta start making changes, bro. Why? We can't change our peers and our elders, but we can change their you know what I mean? Our kids and their future. If we give them what took us a life to achieve, and we give it to them when they're young, they won't chase the things that we were chasing. They'll have the knowledge and the wisdom to build a better future. For us, when we're too old, when we're dependent off this, you know what I mean, their future. It's their future now. We're just living in it. These are the minds that are creating the future. And they need our, wisdom and knowledge and expertise of what we've been through. And that was always the way to pass it down as the elders. Not to take it to your grave, but to give it freely to them so that they could have, wholesome lives. Nobody's going to learn a lesson off of your experience, but they can be empowered by your wisdom, bro, and be ready for certain things with your voice in the back of their head. You know what I mean? You're not giving up on yourself. You're giving yourself to something bigger, is what that is. This card represents your shadow, the part of you don't want to look at, the part that you want to deny, where you hide even from yourself, the fears, the weaknesses, the desires you're ashamed of, impulses like lust, the desire for power, selfishness, greed, envy, anger, rage, all the things you might consider evil but which we all secretly feel. They are locked away in the darkness, but are there nonetheless, not coming from an outside agency such as the devil, which this card traditionally is called, and certainly not from some separate entity living within you. And that's where the church will try to condemn you for your thoughts and your feelings, saying it's the devil, the enemy, has control over you. Shut up, bro. But arising from a primitive, instinctive part of your mind. Problems arise when you deny your shadow and instead project it onto other people, assigning them the shameful thoughts and desires which lie within you, so that you feel superior and self-righteous. This happens not only with individuals, but with groups, religions, races, sexes, and even whole countries. Hey, Russ. You posted that yesterday, dude. About, look, my song got to the top 40. Okay. Now, what you don't get, babe, is you're competing with whoever. But what about the people that are competing with you? Have you ever considered that there are truly people competing with you? and they're right in front of you, like Ellie and fucking Mike, that they're trying to break your code and be like you, they're competing to be like you, or in essence, let's be fully transparent, they're trying to be better than you. When you spark this, you know what I mean, in that moment you're like, look at me and what I've achieved, but you're starting a fire behind you so that the younger generation can do more than what you've achieved, if that makes sense. You're caught in a loopy-loop, Fruit Loop. You're trying to show, to the younger generation what you've achieved, only to inspire them to do better than you. But in essence, you don't want them to, because you're still trying to meet, I don't know, Russ. When I met you, you were on a live with fucking Royce. Who else was in that fucking live? King Los, you, and somebody else. But in the essence, it's like, like you sat down and made a song with Dr. Dre. You did all these things. You've had all of these experiences, yet you and yourself don't feel that you're enough. And you're always trying to prove yourself. Now, as much as I say this, my love, this is Marshall too. In all his years, and all his Grammys, and all his accomplishments, and all his accolades, him or Lewis, Kanye, all of you guys, come on now. This is your shadow. You are not grateful. You are ungrateful because you haven't accepted your own glory yet. You look to others to see that they have more or something, that you're competing with them in some kind of way. And you miss the glory in the life that you've had in pursuit of, more trinkets is how I see it. Success looks different to everybody, but the people down here believe that people like you are successful and should be happy. And it's disrespectful to see somebody with so much be so ungrateful and unhappy. Because I did, live in this fairy tale that if we had what you had, we would be so happy to just have a little bit of what you have. But you have no happiness in those things, and yet you pursue more of them. You project, listen to this. The problem arises when you deny your shadow, meaning you don't feel good enough, and instead project it onto other people, assigning them the shameful thoughts and desires which lie within you, so you can feel superior and self-righteous. This happens not only with individuals, but with groups, religions, races, sexes, and even whole countries. We talked about that earlier in our religious studies. Leading to bigotry and hatred. The more the shadow is denied and repressed, the more powerful and destructive it becomes. The shadow is not evil. It also contains natural positive instincts, insights, and creativity. It is only by understanding your shadow that you will progress, recognizing destructive impulses when they arise, balancing desire against good. I just have to stop there. It's, It's only when you recognize it, you can recognize your destructive impulses. Hold on, I'm about to eat That's what I was laughing about the other day. I have this saying, it's like, if you see me eating Arby's, I've lost full control of my life. What does that mean? I mean, it's not like there's nothing against Arby's, it's just a state of mind. If I've ever synced to a place where I'm eating that sandwich, I've just given up. Meaning I'm overwhelmed. I turn to that food when I am literally given up. Like, it's like if you saw a non-alcoholic person having a beer, you'd be like, are you okay? That's what it is for me. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like your destructive impulses. I'm out spending, I'm doing retail therapy. I'm triggered. Noticing your triggers and balancing desire against good. Meaning, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to give in to this. I'm not going to give. Yesterday, I didn't give in to the chocolate mousse. I really wanted a piece of pie. I was like the apple of my eye. Like, I just wanted a piece of pie yesterday, and I didn't give in to it. Why? Because I felt like I looked crazy just jumping out of bed like that. on this massive desire for a piece of pie. And so I calm myself, but I still want it. And that's it. It's like, you know, have some balance. If I'm going to the store, then I'll get the pie. I'm not going to wake up in the middle of, you know, the middle of the night like a pregnant woman. I need pie! I mean, I really was feeling it. And that was not okay. But it was how I felt right then. I really just wanted some chocolate in my life. Are you serious? Yeah. Just, it's a real impulse. Why? Because I don't eat chocolate all day. I don't eat sweets. You could offer me sweets all fucking day. But then this monster in the middle of the night wakes up and will destroy a whole row of fucking Oreos, bro. Any fucking sweet in the house, bro. So then I'll try to control it by not buying sweets. And then all I do is end up craving them even harder. It's not healthy. So, you know, you have to, like, keep some sweets around. How'd I give in? How I always do. A peanut butter sandwich. If I really want something sweet, I can do peanut butter and syrup sandwich. It's like totally sweet. It kills it. Mr. Plum says I might have some kind of form of diabetes, the way that I act with that and the sugar. And that's it too, is like I fill myself with sugar all day with, you know, tea and coffee and shit. There's like a half a cup of sugar in each of my cups of coffee. You're like, serious? I'll make a cup and show you. The tea, not so much. That's why I don't drink Kool-Aid. Oh, hell no. So, anyways, and that's it. It's like, what's going on here? Impulse. It's a desire. It's actually a deficiency if we keep digging harder. I'm lacking vitamin D. That was another thing, too. God totally embarrassed me around Christmas, saying how I was, you know what I mean, sexually depriving myself and I needed sexual healing and that this was unhealthy for a woman. I guess. You told me to be he said, I did not tell you. I thought this was the role of the priesthood. That's what's got these priests out here doing these things. That is in my earlier video, too. Alright, anyways, knowing when you are blaming others for what lies within you. And that's me too. Am I projecting? I am projecting. On the path of initiation, this often manifests as resentment against the initiator. That's it. I'll be resenting the shit out of Russ. Like, get away from me. All you do is piss me off. You make my life hard. You make me act a fucking fool, bro. Every time you come around, I have to be all dark and dingy. Why can't I just be nice? Why do you have to bring this all out of me? It's not his fault. He really doesn't. I mean, he does, actually. He tries. Why? When he's feeling triggered, he wants to trigger me. And that's what we do. We just, like, stab each other all the time. And that goes back to my first saying. It's like, oh, I'm going to have a soulmate. The soulmate is meant to trigger all your wounds. Oh, man. Damn it. I do too. I'll be talking about his body. I'll be talking about his hairline. I'll be talking about everything. He'll be talking about my mommy issues. He'll be talking about I ain't got nobody to fuck with. He'll be talking about all this shit. We just be talking shit, bro. This is deadly shit. They want to put us in the same place at the same motherfucking time, right there at Red Rocks, at the Holy Land, bro. They want to put two fallen angels together on the Holy Land. I'm not paying for this. Why? Because they're like, you just got a job. I'm not using my first paycheck to pay to see your bitch ass. Why are your tickets so expensive? You're such a bitch ass. Sorry. You're never going to be in a relationship with him. I don't want to be in a relationship with him. Oh, God, Russ. Somewhere deep down inside of me is a part that really wanted to be in a relationship with you. I'm very much trying to kill that girl all the time. But I think she still lives inside of me, bro. I'm not really sure. Maybe it was Lisa. It's the devil. It's an outside entity called Lisa. It was the devil. Come on, fuck. You want to be friends? I don't want to have sex with you, bro. I can't even. I was joking around. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Would you have sex with Russ? I have fears. What's wrong? I don't know. I think it's just my pride. Why? I don't know. I don't want that image in my head. I don't want to know what you look like naked. He's mad as fuck. Because that's not what the messages said 2 years ago. Oh, man. I got my hands in prayers. I'm like, oh, God. It's the devil. It's the devil, Ricky Bobby. All right. Oh, God. The initiator. This is the highest moral quest. True spirituality means accepting your shadow and taking responsibility for it, and only then can you be in a relationship with the divine. Oh my God, you are my shadow. I have to take responsibility for you. I'm tired of taking responsibility. I can't explain you. How can I ever explain you? I do quite well, don't you think? Let me explain what he's up to. Come on, this is not fun. So that's what happened. I rejected him, and then he went back to a karmic, and that's where all this happened. And then he tried to show me that his karmic was better than me. And that's pretty much what I do with all my karmic twin flames. Like, no, look at this guy. No, look at this guy. He is loving that all of them fail. You fucking cockblocker. You had nothing to do with it. They're failures on their own. I just want to say, you were never standing in the way. Fucking cockblocker. Alright, so when you deal with your shadow, then what happens? You're going to be in the sun. But what happens after that? A fucking tower. What the fuck is that coming from? I don't know. That's how the light works, to be honest. The light is blinding, bro. When the truth comes out, it is, like, unreal. You're like, it destroys you. That's what I tell you, motherfuckers, I live in the truth. That shit is just so unreal. Where is this? It's further past. It's actually after the tower. That's right. Some other tarot reader. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up, Oscar. Go shave your face or something. Fucking do another push-up. Don't even try to talk about this. The sun is the light that comes after the darkness. After you deal with your shadow, you'll find the light in there. I'm being called to Carl Jung's fucking book that we just got. I haven't even opened it, and we're being called to it. How do I know? Because I turned to it already. It was on page 1. I went to 217. The man who dreamed he was disguised. I don't know. It was on 171. How do you know that? I don't know. My memories are starting to kind of... I'm retaining newer information. Have you noticed that? Not old stuff. I'm getting new memories. Building new memories. Alright, The Realization of the Shadow. Page 171, Man and Symbols. Edited with an introduction by Carl G. Jung. He said this was one of the last works that he had before he died. Crazy, right? This book, which is the latest piece of work undertaken by Jung before his death in 1961, provides a unique... Damn, bro. I'm just thinking, it's like, damn, bro. He died right before I came. Provides a unique opportunity to assess his contributions to life and the thought of our time. For it was also his first attempt to present his life's work in psychology to a non-technical public. What emerges was a great clarity of this book is that Jung has done immense service both to psychology as a science and to our general understanding of man in society by insisting that imaginative life must be taken seriously in its own right and the most distinctive characteristics of a human being. All right, let's talk about your shadow. Whether the unconscious comes up at first in a helpful or a negative form. After a time, the need usually arises to readapt the conscious attitude in a better way to the unconscious factors. Therefore, to accept what seems to be criticism from the unconscious. Through dreams... Dude, there's some scary-ass pictures. I think we're on your page, Kanye. Anyway, sorry. What the fuck is that page? Alright. Through dreams, one becomes acquainted with the aspects of one's own personality that, for various reasons, one has preferred not to look at too closely. This is what Jung called the realization of the shadow. He used the term shadow for the unconscious part of the personality because it actually often appears in dreams in a personified form. Oh, is that how you see yourself outside of yourself? That's nice. The shadow is not the whole of the unconscious personality. It represents unknown or little-known attributes and qualities of the ego, aspects that mostly belong to the personal sphere and that could just as well be conscious. In some aspects, the shadow can also consist of collective factors that stem from a source outside of an individual's personal life. This is too deep for you right now. What is your shadow aspect? The parts of you that you've kept hidden or that told you to hide of yourself. So going back to, ooh, I got cut off. I guess we got cut off. Alright, I was talking about Ellie. Ellie has Ellie and his energy. You know what I mean? You wouldn't catch us dead in that energy. But that's a shadow side of us because we really feel how Ellie feels. Okay? Now, as far as the rage and the shit that comes out of me and Marshall's mouth, no way would you ever catch Lewis letting any of that shit out of his mouth. He's been taught never to speak like that. He's been muzzled like a motherfucker. He doesn't even say the N-word. For real? Yeah, us white people say it more than him. Huh, Nika. My Nika. Anyways, yeah, they're trained not to show this part. So going back to Logic is a biracial rapper. He didn't tell any of us that he was black. He didn't tell anyone. He wanted to be established as a white rapper, not a biracial rapper. He didn't want to be accepted just because he was black. And in essence, he's not. He would have had to prove that he was black. His dad does that all on his own, but that wasn't the point. He would have had to stand up to black people if he wasn't just standing on his own white feet. He denied that. And that's what it is, these shadow aspects. So then you got, Russ came out and he's telling you about his childhood. He's denied his childhood, bro. It's hurtful to have to tell the truth because he knows he has to turn on his family and they, this fairy tale lie that he said they were perfect, which you shouldn't have done that to begin with. But he didn't want people, you know what I mean, to judge them. Why? Because judgment is a huge thing in that house. They want people to favor them, to like them. So then what do? I judge him all the fucking time. I bring out all of that self-criticism, all that perfectionism, all of that shit. I'm pulling it out of you. And in essence, I'm not. I'm bringing it to the surface, and he acts out in it. What do I do when I feel like I'm not enough? When I'm not getting attention? When nobody likes me? When my works aren't good enough? That's his shadow, bro. And he's showing you. He told you himself in Santiago that that's a part of him. He only told you the other day where it came from. Overcritical parenting. Why? Because their children are an extension of us. I do it to my children too. I get pissed off, bro. Don't fucking go outside looking stupid, bro. I spend too much money to make you look good. Don't go out there making us look bad. I watched a video last night that made me cry. It was just on Facebook, and it had no commentary, dude. It just said, father messing with his trans son. And this person is on a live. I don't know, I say person. Completely dressed up as a female. Beautiful makeup, long hair, colorful makeup, everything. And their dad comes in and throws this big old thing of soap at him. That's men's soap. Don't forget, you're a fucking man. You're a fucking man. Don't forget that. And then closes the door. And this person, is dressed up like, look at them. They're not a man, bro. Stop making them be what you want them to be. You're looking at a beautiful daughter in front of you, bro. Accept her. Instead of forcing her to be something that you want her to be. And as fucked up as it is that's what happened to all of us. We hid parts of us so that people would like us. Because we were told by people like our parents or our friends or somebody that they won't like us if we do that. We better not do that. They're not going to like us. So we do shit that we don't do shit that people don't like. But the shit we don't do is the shit we actually like. You know what I mean? So, going back to Marshall. He's been sober for, 20 years, I think? 17, 18, 19. Who gives a fuck? A long-ass time, right? What happens if I ask Marshall to hit the weed? What stands between him and hitting that weed? His fears. Of what? The past. when he smoked weed, did he enjoy it? I don't know anybody that doesn't enjoy smoking weed. Why did they stop? Because of shame and blame and guilt. And that goes back to Joe Bart. All the things he does in his life, he spends a couple hours smoking weed and has to feel terribly guilty about it. But he enjoys it. But he can't feel enjoyment about what he likes. So the question is like, you know what I mean? Like, are you denying that you like to smoke weed? Or are you just doing it because you're afraid that you won't be able to control yourself after this weed? Are you the same person? Or you still have that same weak-ass mentality? He doesn't seem to have a problem with any of us smoking weed. Why is it okay for us but not for you? And I'm just showing you this. This is a whole, self-projection. Now let's go back to Russ. Russ used to smoke weed. Why'd he stop? He said he drank. Why'd he stop? You know what I mean? You change your behaviors, but to deny them is, obviously Lewis still loved the taste of tequila, but didn't want to drink alcohol. Lewis was a partier. He was celebrated. He was the biggest winner. You think there wasn't drinks at every fucking, every ordeal? He wanted to be part of it, but he doesn't drink. So he puts non-alcoholic fucking... Let me ask you this, Lewis. Would you drink a regular tequila? If you didn't have that job, could you hit the weed with me? Or are you afraid what you would do if you drank or smoked? Because of what? Because of what you've done in the past or what you've seen other people do? Do you demonize drinking and smoking weed? I'm really triggering you to think about how you feel about this. This shadow. You think it's bad for you, but then you accept it from everyone else? So are you accepting everybody else's shadows and not yours? Or are you accepting fuck shit that you don't actually stand for? There's a lot to be said in that. A whole lot to be said in that. I mean, the shadow is just a part of you that you hide from people so that you can be accepting. That's it. It can be anything. I hide my physical body in the sense of, I'm not comfortable with how my physical body has become at old age. So what do I do to hide it? I put it in different outfits that hide that shit. It's only a shadow because I hide it. It's really my body. It's a part of me that's very visible if I let it be seen. And there's nothing wrong with letting it be seen other than me being comfortable of letting this part of me be seen. I have to be comfortable with my body. It doesn't matter if anybody else likes my body. If I can't be comfortable with my body, then nobody else gets to see my body. And that's what it is about your shadow. If you can't be comfortable with your shadow, then nobody else gets to see your shadow. But that's a whole part of you. My body is what I live in. I can't keep hiding it from everybody. And I was like, hold on, I want to be a priest and wrap it up and all this good stuff. Hey, I want to be like her. Can I get that outfit, please? It's too hot for that shit. In the essence of, wrap it up. Insecurities and stuff like that. That's just a shadow. Anything can be a shadow. A part of you that you don't like, that you hide from other people because you're afraid of their inacceptance for it. It doesn't matter. It's your inacceptance of what you're hiding. You're hiding it because you don't accept it. Nobody said they didn't. And then you think about, Lizzo. Holy shit. Bro, some of these people inspired us to really to feel free in our bodies, bro. They inspired us by their freedom in their own bodies. If she can do it and be praised for it, then I can do this too. You know what I mean? I don't have the thunder thighs that Lizard has, but still, in the sense of, that's where it is. It's like, we can find inspiration in those that were brave enough to love themselves more than we love ourselves. And that's where I teach you a lot of my, overcoming. There's parts of me that I hid from myself and from the whole world, and I love myself enough to free this part. And this part is part of me. You can't love me without knowing these parts. You can't love me without knowing my tragic past. You wouldn't know how to love me. Because that tragic past is always going to, you know what I mean, is part of what made me. You know? So, when you start facing these parts of you, that's where the sun comes in. The light comes after the darkness, signifying a positive outcome after struggle. Things may have not been as bad as you feared, and the phantasmas and fears of the night melt away with the dawn. I told him, I was like, do what I told Bobby. Just say you're going to get a pack of cigarettes and never come back. I was like, I couldn't help it. It was funny to me. In the sense of, what's the worst that's going to happen? You might have to turn your phone off because they won't leave you alone. But, like, you're not really going anywhere. We can find Kanye if we need to. He's not, like, off the radar, bro. Like, nobody is. I can find you. In the sense of, you know, like, you're making this way bigger than it really is. Stepping away doesn't mean falling off the earth. Although I try all the time, I'm still here. It's not as flat as I thought. The sun is the kind of rebirth and assures you that the dark days are over. When the sun comes out, he brings hope, success, passion, enthusiasm. It's like, I'm so scared to dump this person. You're hella scared, but when it's over, it's going to bring hope, success, passion, enthusiasm, confidence, youthful energy, health, and abundance. That's it. Every year, Russ is asked to fucking quit his fucking tour. God said it again. He did it once before. God wants him to do it and do it right this time. That's when I met Russ. That's why I was drawn to him, because he put his mental health above all things. That wasn't true. This is your day in the sun, and it's time for fun, creativity, self-expression, and enjoying life. The hardships you've endured have given you new insight. Things you were obscured became clear, and everything falls into place. While the moon's gift was over fears and illusions, clarity of intellect, philosophy, and science. Oh, excuse me, that was the wrong one. The sun symbolizes conscious prevailing over fears, illusions, clarity, intellect, philosophy, and science, while the moon requires passive surrender. The sun is active, beaming in radiant energy into the world. A bright flash of enlightenment brings about transformation. This is a higher level of conscious that enables you to see things from beyond your individual awareness. It is the light in your soul that connects you to the soul light in all things. It brings the realization that life is not mundane drudgery, but spiritual and eternal. The energy of the sun is within your soul, ever present, waiting to shine. As I said that, I was reading, we're going to finish up the swords, and then we're going to start with the willpower. We're going to start with the wands. We're going to end up the tarot readings with the wands. And it's that fire, it's that sun. All right, so the reverse of not facing this, right? You've become aware that you're trapped in an unhealthy relationship, dependence, or addiction, and now wish to free yourself. However, you must be prepared for difficulties along the way, as others may not want you to change. And that's what I told him. Why does everyone have to lose just for you to win? Because they're winning off of you being a loser, dickhead, is what I told him. They don't want him to change, because they will lose their way of life. When he stops, he doesn't value these things anyways. He values their love and attention and will give them anything of this world for it. He doesn't care of the things of this world. He's had them for years. He can go buy himself whatever he wants. He really is rich. He buys them what they want so he can get what he wants, which is love and attention and affection. When he stops having to give so much for that, and that's what I've taught him, is you don't have to give anything for love and attention and affection. I love you just fine. I give you plenty of attention and affection. I just don't touch you. He didn't have to buy me. And he doesn't have to buy anybody's love and attention and affection. And when he realizes that, their very powerful lives will cease to exist, because their power is built off of the things that he buys them. Their identity is built off of the material, his contract to love. When he no longer pays for love, they no longer have power over him. And then it's really sad because they could have just loved him for free. I do. Other people do. Your fans love you. And it's not for free. It actually costs them. You will have your own fears and your own fears to battle along the way, but preserve, as it will be worth it in the end. And that's it. If this isn't working, you give up on yourself and on your healing and on your calling, on your life, then you can always go back to your home studio with your home girl in your hometown and go back home. And that's that fucking Transformers. It's like you wanted it. Now what? You want to go back home? There's no home, E.T. We're making this our new home, and we're going to make it beautiful. We're going to make it better than what the fuck that we were given. I always hope for the motherfucker. Alright, so when you see the light is blinding, and that's going to bring a tower. What is a tower? A revelation. Pretty much. But these are all the end parts of, you know what I mean, of going through this. You know, these are heavy levels that you're hitting all at once on a moon day. Nevertheless, it's a good moon day. And right before, you know, the new moon. This is perfect, dude, to do this one last time right before this new energy. If you do this all correctly today, what's the card on top? Oh, shit. You'll be good tomorrow. Princess of fucking Pentacles, dude. You'll be brewing up new fucking adventures in your fucking reality. That's me too. I just want to point out that's Sarah Quinn. Alright, the tower. Lightning flash of truth breaks down the structure of lies in the tower. A shocking and painful revelation shatters false beliefs. You face your shadows. The truth is revealed, and it shatters you. It's Friday then. Saturday, Sunday. What the fuck? These are great stages. These are high-level stages. I was just very intrigued to see this. Am I going through this? I mean, yeah. I'm facing my shadow, which is Russ. I'll get to the bottom of this, and then it'll be a revelation, and then, I don't know. I'll have to live in that new reality. I'm not there yet. I'm still trying to harness this idea. A shocking and painful revelation shatters false beliefs and institutions, leaving you devastated. Your world is in turmoil, and you'll never be the same again. This is a crisis that shakes you to your core. Whether it's a divorce, broken engagement, betrayal, enforced stripping of your mask you chose to wear, a failure of your business, a loss of your job, a death, health problem, or loss of a cherished idea of relief. Take comfort in the fact that nothing built on false foundations could last. It's better to tear down and start again. Russ, you deserve a woman that loves you, bro. I'm not saying that I'm going to be that woman, bro. I mean, I love you just fine. But you always deserved a woman that loved you for free. I'm just going to stay quiet like that because everybody deserves that. You don't have to buy somebody's love, bro. And you know this. If you don't keep that bitch... all of them, bro. If you don't keep them up. And how long are you going to keep this up? There's real love out there if you quit fucking paying for fake love. This is a wake-up call. When we refuse to see what is in front of us, then we cling to the things, people, attitudes, or beliefs that block or damage us. The gods send the tower. It shakes you out of complacency and gives you an opportunity for the growth that you've been resisting. You can wallow in despair if you wish, or you can begin the transformational journey to the star, which is hope. On the spiritual path, the tower relates to the stripping of the ego, which still persists no matter how many times we felt we dealt with it. And that's it. It's like, damn, I thought I was good in the ego until God said to go fuck with Russ again. Oh, man. I'm not. That's where it is. If I could surrender to Wolfman, bro, I might be able to do this. I just got to wrap my brain around this. It's all about a surrender, bro. And that's what I always have to do, is just surrender. You don't really... It's not you that I fear. What do I fear? My own feelings. You bring out some of the worst ones, bro, and I don't want that to come out. I've worked really hard to control these feelings, to heal these feelings. The thought of being in your presence and them, you know, constantly being ruptured is terrifying to me. You push the lava to the very surface just being in your presence, bro. It's not a terrible thing, but it calls for a lot of work on my side. Why? Because you don't deserve it and neither anyone else. So before I blow my load, I've got to catch it inside of my throat. That sounds gross. Swallow it down. Sorry. A process which usually begins in the craft as the candidate progresses towards the second degree, when the gods may test the fitness of the candidate to the limits of their endurance. This is a test. If I don't pass this test, I have to go back to another karmic level, which is another karmic lover. If I don't pass this, dude, I'm going to keep coming back to him. I fucking passed the test with Bobby, bro. I had to face him and pass it. I passed it. The symbol of the second degree is an inverted pentacle, the world turned upside down, because it is often precisely what happens to the candidate. It indicates that the four physical elements and earthly considerations, such as position and ego, still dominate spirit, the fifth element. The candidate will go through the dark night of the soul, during which everything is questioned. When the initiate's everyday life might be forcibly and painfully reshaped by the gods. I've signed up for a dark night of the soul, bro. It's the beginning of the week. Sorry. Give it a break. I mean, I'm trying to look at my future. I don't know. My future's so bright. I gotta wear shades, is what I heard. Fine, whatever. The second degree candidate often seems to be regressing rather than progressing while the process takes place. Sadly, this is the flip side of people coming into their power. Unless ego can be contained, a true second degree can destroy the candidate. And that's it too, is you guys, that's what happened to you guys. Your ego destroys you. The true initiate seeks to free the spirit from the chains of ego and material realm, so that the soul might pass freely through the universal doors and know what is unknowable in the normal course of life. The death of the ego is not a death of the self, it's birth. The tower reversed indicates that you know that you need to go through a drastic change in situation, belief, or attitude, yet you try to pretend all is well and keep plastering over the cracks. You are refusing to face the inevitable. Though it is difficult and even shocking, change is an essential part of life's journey. If you want to achieve what you aspire to, let go of the illusion, no matter how painful it is, or you will face the same difficulty again and again until you do. Oh, Russell. You've got your own battles, and so do I. I'm right along with you. My ego is totally flared up too, bro. What's mine? The belief. I'm wrapped around a belief system when it comes to you, bro. I have a reason to do all this. I'm doing it out of my pride, out of flesh. I am rejecting the calling out of flesh. And if I don't catch it, I'm just going to run away from you and then have to turn around and face you some other time. And it could be more difficult the next time. Not as sacred as in my own fucking backyard. I'm reflecting somebody else's. I can see it. Somebody else is standing in my shoes having to do the same thing when it comes to me. Their ego won't let them come to me. Well, great. That's nice. I can't tell you. All I can do is break down what's wrong with me. Why? I have to go through the whys. Why won't you talk to him? Why won't you see him? We have to go through all of these. Every single one of these. How I feel. There's a reason. How I feel is the reason why I don't want to deal with you. I have to go through those harsh feelings. I have built up resentment towards you. Is why I won't deal with you. And that's not Christ-like, bro. And this is so Kobe, and I hate you. We all have our own battles, guys. I'm just telling you what mine is. I told you what his is. I can tell you what Marshall's is. I can tell you what Lewis is. Who's going to quit their job and quit their life and, quit their ego and quit their beliefs and walk in a better understanding? Who's going to walk in the light or hold on to the tower and be a devil? Hide this stuff about yourselves. What am I repressing? My love for him. Why am I holding it back? Because of my hate for him. Do I really hate him? No. So I have to work through all of that. You just wrap yourself around an idea of how you feel about a person and you stick to it. Meaning, I don't like them. Why? I just don't. Meaning, I could sit here and give you a million reasons, but I've came up with the decision that I don't like them. Can I change your mind? Absolutely not. You're rigid then. That's what that means in spirituality. You're rigid.
Where did you put the rest of my clay? It was in that bag.
Are you serious? No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I must have pulled it out when I first put the bags down then. Or it wasn't, I dropped it somewhere. I don't know. I really don't. Because that girl was here and all kinds of shit was happening right then. Anyway, so that's kind of where it is like, where are you not flexible? It's stupid for me, but it's just, I'm in a further level, and I'm right back where I fucking started, to be honest. That's why it's so stupid. I'm facing the same ass fucking battle. Nope, don't want any calls right now. And that's where you guys will be too. If you don't fucking, you know what I mean? When I said that to Bobby, when I blocked Bobby, you know what I mean? And all that shit. It took like nearly a year before I saw him again. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to redo this. I did the same thing I do every fucking time. I knew that I did it. And I knew that as soon as I did it, I was gonna have to redo this. I just did what I always do. I didn't handle it different. I handled it the same way I always handled it. Until I get a handle on this and keep stop patterning, acting out my patterns, I'm not in control. And so in essence, you know what I mean? To take control, I had to lose control. Because I had put controls on myself when it came to Bobby. I put it. I will not. I will not. I will not. And God kept trying to will me to do it. For my own good. Because ultimately I wanted to see him. I ultimately want a relationship with Russ. Obviously not a physical relationship. And that could be, honestly, that just could be my own triggered fears. Because I don't, fear you physically. I just, you know what I mean? Reject it. Reject the idea. For whatever reason. Because that's where I want to be. But that's just... And that's what Bobby says. If I know something about you, your feelings are always changing. Yeah, that's the alchemy in it. I can change my feelings. I have to be able to change my feelings and change my thoughts. I can't be rigid because there's nothing, you know what I mean, to really hold on to. The truth is ever changing. You know what I mean? The wind is ever changing. I'm forever growing in my feelings and in my thoughts. So holding on to this old thought process of Russ is this and Russ is that, that's old. And I just have to go in and clean that out. And then I can let something new in. For him or for me? For me. Just for me. Because this is a shadow that's hanging over me. He's coming to town. Are you going to go see him? I don't want to talk about it. And yet, the Holy Spirit's reminding me quite often.
You can't find it.
I didn't see it on that bag. I think it dropped. Honestly, I think it dropped sometime. Which, we should just go get you another one. I don't think it exists. If it dropped, some kid found it. I don't think it was in the bag. I'm just being honest. I definitely want to drink. I put down all the laundry and it wasn't there. That's why I'm saying that. Sorry for the interruption. So that's where it is you've got to, face your shadows. I'm denying that I want a relationship with this guy. All transparency. And then I shared that video earlier. I was denying that I was accepting that I was physically attracted to Wolfman. But I had my reasons and my reserves, which were in the very beginning, and it turned out to be exactly the truth. Here we are 7 months later. So I wasn't wrong. And, I didn't, I embraced I embraced the fucking journey. It took a lot of left turns, but that's it. It didn't end up with a man. It never really does that. Why? Because these men are of the ego. I challenged their ego, and that's what I did to him too. Same exact thing. Oh, I thought you were my emperor. Never mind, you're just a knight of wands. You have some shadows you need to work on. Meaning I walked in and said, hey, I think I could marry you. Never mind, you're not worth it. You have to work on yourself. And that's what I did to all these guys. Triggered the shit out of them. So, and then what do? They flare up their egos and try to show me that they're better off without me. Oh, that's a great way to make me feel like I want to be part of your life. You just keep rejecting me, and I'll keep rejecting you, and we'll just keep pretending like this is, real. Right, Bobby? That's what Russ said. He was like, what happened to Bobby? I blocked him, like I always do, because it makes me feel powerful. I blocked all of you, can't you tell? Isn't it working? That's what I told him in the message. He's like, you blocked him again? Yeah, bro. Why? Because I don't know what else to do. It made me feel good. We do what makes us feel good. Till you realize you're just being a child, and that's not really stopping anything. I mean, it makes me feel good. In essence, why are you turning your back on everyone? Because it makes me feel good. Am I really turning my back on anyone? That's the funny story, and that's the shadow. You're trying to dress up a part of you. Am I really turning my back on any of you? No, I'm trying to run away from you as fast as I can, but I can't get away from you. Is what that is. Haven't you noticed? I am the runner. Who's the chaser? I don't know who's chasing me right now, but I'm definitely running from them all. I think I'm chasing you. I'm not fucking chasing you. I'm trying to run away from you and chase God, but he keeps fucking putting me around you when I follow God. Somehow you're part of this. It's a funny story. It's not. So what's God telling you to let go of? I told you, wouldn't be my fucking job if I didn't do this every fucking day. I showed you, mine's just a belief. I don't really gotta let go of anything. That's about it. I just gotta let go of a belief. Face the truth and let the tower hit. Which is what? Probably something stupid like I love him. Which is already, obvious. It's just acting in that love. Go love him. Please don't make me. Why not? I don't know. I'll get back to you. Let me do this shadow work real quick. I know I have a list of whys. That's where you can't even come up with a reason as to why you're doing what you're doing. I don't know. Just do it, okay? Are you gonna change that? Yeah, let me figure out what I'm doing first. Why are you doing this? I don't know. Because this is what I've always done with him. This is what we do, right? God, why is it... And then you get really mad. You're like, damn it, dude. I've done all this work and I'm right back here with you. How did I end up right here with you after all the bullshit I've been through? It's a Drake song. You know Drake? Oh, no, you're fucking Team Kendrick. Douchebag. Then there's that problem. We have a lot of problems to deal with here. Oh God, Kobe, why did you do this, Kobe? Well, at least Pac's not making it worse. He could really make this worse, He don't really care. He just needs me to get through my shit. That's all. And me getting pissed off is getting through my shit. I do well when I'm pissed off. Marshall knows all about that. We need to start a fire to get some shit burning around here. Alright. There's our spiritual work at hand. Face your shadows. The truth will come out, and then you're going to have a revelation that's going to rock your world, and you're going to have to walk in the devastation of that revelation. Love and light, right? Everybody wants to live in the love and light. I'd rather live in the darkness and the shadows. Hey, I'll catch you guys in just a couple hours. We're going to end up, we're going to finish the, having mind control over Debo. We're going to talk about your mind and the swords. Okay? Okay. Later, satyrs.